The Australian Army Museum is a subunit of the Australian Army History Unit, which has 18 of these museums across Australia. They were designed to tell the story and the military history of the Australian Army both in wartime and in peace. It's well known that the Australian Army Museum of Western Australia, out of the 18 museums that Army has, is one of the best. Army in general and Army History Unit especially embrace other organisations that are defence related. The cross-pollination and synergy that we get with these organisations help us to understand which direction the Army is going to go in the future. Well, hopefully your attendees got good value out of today. We allocated the resources of volunteers to guide them through. We had an excellent speech from Brigadier Thompson, who's had a lot of experience both in management, both within the civilian network and the military network.
I think a highlight for me is it just again shows how close I think business and military really are, and really how much from a business perspective we can learn from the military. It's been going for hundreds of years, and I think the lessons are just there to learn. I think every time I get to talk to somebody from the military, you're amazed your similarities and then how much you can actually take forward to your own business.
From the talk, I think it was actually hearing the discussion about, I guess, the method of management within the military. You know, you imagine that it is a far more top-down process. But, you know, to learn that there is actually, or to come to understand, there's actually also within a strong structure, there's also the capacity for individual opportunity to develop and, I guess, shine and to show their own leadership and capacities as well. So that was really interesting from that structural point of view.
The skills, knowledge, experience and values that someone within the Defence Force brings to the workplace is pretty diverse. It's not just being how to use a weapon system or how to walk with a heavy pack on the back. It's all of the minor skills, knowledge and experience that comes with it. So how to communicate effectively with people, how to make a set of orders so that your commander's intent and vision is communicated to others. The ability to work closely with team members and be able to embrace that team, work with that team and support that team, I think are skills that we can do.
I think what the tour has provided is a real insight into the very rich history of what Western Australia has contributed to the Australian democracy. In a challenged world, what we've got now is learn from our history, because this is a great historical record, and democracy depends on people prepared to defend it. So I think it's a very important institution and one which needs to be highly celebrated and highly promoted.
This visit was the first visit for me to the museum, and I guess the highlight was realizing that there is such a gem and a huge piece of history and heritage which not a lot of people in Western Australia, in Perth, know about. So I learned a lot, and in a short period of time I was actually surprised myself. I'm not Australian born, but nevertheless that was quite moving, and a couple of times I felt tears swelling in my throat and goosebumps, so that was incredible.
From the tour, it's about that sense of pride and history, but also it's an exhibition about humanity and politics and what that does to a community, and I guess the overarching decisions that can be made about a country by other countries, and the conditions that people have had to work in was quite incredible.